All right.
Welcome to Friday before Father's Day. Jimmy Fried Mike
Yeah,
here. You
got to
know
give a
the
shout
show.
out, guys. Got to give a shout out to my father for getting me involved in sports and my love of sports, taking me to Bills games, Sabre games, Buffalo Braves games. So I'll give a shout out for my dad. He's 86. He's still hanging in there. You know, so
We all want to wish every fathers out there,
What
fathers
what
happy
what are your
Father's Day.
policemen, firemen, uh, just a regular human being, medical, anybody?
yep,
Happy Father's Day.
yep.
Even the U-Haul
Oh,
truck drivers.
happy Juneteenth to our friends out there today too. You know,
New holiday officially announced as some
yeah.
important day.
Get your barbecues out. Get your barbecue out. Make it a weekend long celebration.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Oh yeah. Hopefully the weather's nice. Hopefully the weather's nice.
so
It's supposed to be
Jen,
a scorcher.
yeah, 84 degrees this weekend. I think Saturday, Sunday, maybe a little bit hotter. I don't know.
You know, it was funny, guys. I went to pick up pizza about 6 o'clock from Leo's, and it was pitch black over on that part of Orchard Park. Did it rain
Yeah,
out by you guys?
no,
No, we
no.
got lucky
Luckily,
there.
no.
Yeah,
Luckily.
it was like pitch. It was
Although
pitch
I did
dark.
see some clouds off
Oh,
in the
I saw
distance
clouds too.
too.
I'm thinking to
Yeah,
myself,
I
it's
heard
gonna
some
be
rumble
shitty.
and thunder, but
yeah.
Yep.
Well,
thankfully,
Fred
So
and Jim, I was telling Fred, Jim, that report is not official yet, but supposedly Austin Matthews has COVID.
I think you'll be okay.
yeah,
You probably have to be isolated like that, but
Yeah,
there
I
was
guess
also
he's been working out with some Arizona teammates, Coyotes. Some of the guys in Arizona, and they supposedly they caught it too. You know,
yeah, and actually
so
some breaking news out of the PGA Tour. Nick Watney, the Beatles shortstop, also has COVID-19. He was tested.
yeah,
He
Dale
had a
Jarrett from NASCAR too. It's ongoing situation. So
yeah, and I did hear. Did I hear today that like 23 Clemson football players tested positive?
that I did
yeah,
not
yeah.
hear. So
Well, it's moving out west and everything else. So I mean,
Yeah.
all these trip. You know,
Well,
I
I,
was
I, do-
gonna.
I do got to give I got to give a shout out, guys. I've been to two restaurants in the last couple days, Connors and Christie's at the Plaza, and it's been very good in there. They
Yep.
all the people there had the mask on that are
Yep.
serving you, and
Hmm.
they spread out very and very clean in there. You know,
Hmm.
so
and
Leo's.
also a shout out to
yeah, I just went to Leo's to get a pizza. I didn't go inside, but I didn't go inside, but
we've been to
I'm sure they were,
a couple times
I'm
in the
sure
last
they're,
2 weeks. There,
you know.
mostly in the outdoor. Of course, they recently opened the thing back open, um, but right now I'm going to stick to outdoor dining. Wherever it's possible.
One of you
Yeah.
guys are having a hard time hearing. I don't know if your mic's on.
Yeah, it's my mic's on unless I don't have it cranked up
Yeah,
all the way. I was just
yeah.
trying to get the EQ out. Um, so we reacted Tuesday to the Botto situation. More news came out this week that a lot of amateur scouting staff were let go. Um, most of the Rochester coaching staff was let go. That's another that's part of the subject. I don't want to say that's another subject, but it's
Fred, did you hear yesterday? Who was on yesterday? Was it Friedman? Was he on
That was
yesterday?
yeah,
Freeman. Yeah,
yeah.
That
Freeman's
said,
on yesterday.
he said the
Um,
Sabres fired a guy they weren't supposed to fire, and they had a call to bring him back.
I did. Yeah,
yeah, I heard that
that was
too.
kind of very. That was kind of
Mistakes
ironic.
happen too. I mean, it's another bad mark. You know what?
Uh,
Honestly, at this point, I don't. I hate to say I don't care, but at the same time, it's like
Well, thankfully, he got his
shit
job back. I mean,
happens.
that would have been. And of course, analytics guy. No, but honestly,
WGR550.com has a full listing uh, of of the amateur scouts, the
and the
GMs.
Buffalo News got who stayed. Lindy Ruff's son is still here.
I was
yeah,
And
Slender of some still
Kevin
working there.
Devine is still here.
yeah.
Oh,
I think there was a lit. Yeah, Austin Dunn, amateur scout, Kevin Devine, Frank
yeah.
Lucille, Rob Briley, amateur scout, Greg Beamish, pro scout, and Jeremiah Crow, pro scout. So I mean it was a full clean out, more like a Drano session where it needed to be plumbed out, or you call your local roto rooter.
Oh, Fred, do you get compensated by mentioning Roto Rooter?
No, this is not a paid show. I've never done paid shows. That's probably why I don't like any YouTube thing. And I
That's our
don't.
goal. Hey, Fred and Jimmy, we got to find a sponsor so maybe we get free coffee or something. We can do a show.
Cerny usually does the usual. My friend Justin Cerny usually does the sponsor plugs.
Yeah.
He's doing the teaching and everything, but I mean, God bless him. So, Cerny would say, hey, if you've seen like our first couple of shows, he does a lot of sponsor plugs in Quick Garage, and I just
Yeah.
laugh because it's just like,
No, I know.
it's
I
funny.
know. Yeah, I got a Kevin Adams. Kevin Adams, I caught the other day on GR with Howard Simon. I really hope that I really hope he can do a good job here. He seems like a
I hope
smart,
so.
you know.
I don't think under these circumstances, between the pandemic and all the things leading up to this, I I think that from Drake said that between when Kim Pagula said that he wasn't going anywhere, and to when he was fired, there obviously things changed. They wanted to kind of streamline it and make it more efficient, and I think Botterill wasn't willing to do that. From what reports I know, Craig Button's been on there, you know, busting on the Pagulas and like this article's coming about Chris Taylor being, a couple of AMS coaches had a verbal agreement with Pagula and they backed out of it. It wasn't a written contract thing. It's a lot more bad luck for the Pagulas, even though really they're probably not the only team that's done this, and it really at this point, I'm not surprised that they did a full clean house. Things weren't.
I'll be honest with you.
Rochester's doing well, but they haven't gone past the first round when when they've gotten there. And like Drager said earlier, you're partly develop. You're trying, even though you're trying to win, you're really trying to develop those players to come at the NHL level and be successful. And it just hasn't totally translated when they either. So I mean, if you want to look at Drager's, listen to Instigators Day on Drager. Drager had a more interesting view behind it. Your media's gonna have your opinions, and a lot of people I heard were keep making this about financial, and to a certain degree, but it's not totally financial. Let's be clear. I mean, if it were financial, they wouldn't be um, letting Botto Sally's probably got another year left to pay out. They were another week or so. Tim Murray will be off the books and paying coaches. So it's not a money thing. You're not saving money by doing all this to a certain degree. However, it's and also Drake said they were. It's not that they're not willing to spend money on players. They're always going to be willing to spend money on players. It's just trying to be more efficient, trying to be more something, man. I mean, it might have been a little too fat. Yeah, who knows? Obviously, the way they're doing, it has not worked for how, and
It hasn't
that's
worked in
sad.
a long time. It hasn't worked in over 10 years.
Yeah, close to 10 years, but yeah.
I
So
mean, we've had fiascos. We had the fiasco, with LaFontaine, him quitting, and then who was the coach that
Bosma didn't work out. Actually,
who was
Bosma didn't, but
uh, the guy,
Ron Roston. No,
Ron Rolston
Tim,
was a joke.
Tim
You know,
Nolan after that was intern. Then you had to Tim area, and
they got the culture, like they got the culture. And, Fred and Jim, you mentioned about the money, about not about spending the money. But if I'm an NHL good player and I look at Buffalo, I don't want to come here.
it's gonna be it's gonna be a selling job. Plus,
I
you're
mean,
looking more to trade. You're gonna have to be doing more trades. I don't think
yeah,
you want to sign a lot of free agents.
no, and
Honestly, because we've done that and it hasn't worked either. So
you look at the Bills. Guys want to come here. Guys want to come to Buffalo. Hockey, no one wants to come to the Sabres right now.
well, let's just say this: it wasn't overnight for the Bills either. Let's just
No, I know. But
and
you know what
it,
though? Kim Pagula looked like a foon the other day on the TV on the conference call. It's and I know she's a big problem. What's going on? You know, and she who was it? Who was the reporter that really
Mike
wore
Harrington.
from the
Mike
18?
Harrington. No, Mike Harrington. John Worrell, Mike Harrington. Mike Harrington, Buffalo News, but John,
Yeah,
it's.
but she, I don't know. I've heard from some sources that she's a major problem. You know.
There's a lot of criticism going around, including the Pagulas, but it wasn't just the Pagulas too. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, they're going to take a lot of heat for this. Um, but I don't need to say more. You can see it on social media. You can
Oh
see it
yeah.
from the reports. I mean, there's
Well,
nothing more that I'm going to add to it. Really,
Fred,
I
who
don't need.
is? Yeah, I know. The other day, guys, we talked about the second line center. To keep moving here, Stahl came up. There were a couple other names I had heard. What have
Ryan
you guys?
Johansson.
Yeah,
Um, not sure on that. No, Kyle Turris. Ryan
Kovu. I
Johansson.
heard Kovu. Is it Kovu from Minnesota? Is it
Minnesota's
Kovu?
not in.
Kovu.
He
Well,
was part of
they were
the.
talking about it.
You might
Rive and
know the
Peter,
guy.
so we're Rive
You
and
might.
I were talking about Travis Zajac too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Um.
But let me just finish up the other point here. Obviously, um, I'll be honest with you. I've never seen anything like this where not just the GM goes, but your assistant GM, your scouting department, your scouting department, most of your Rochester Amber staff. I mean, I don't think we've ever seen quite such a removal of people like we've seen in one day. Obviously there are hard decisions, but
They weren't easy decisions.
no, I know that.
I
Do
don't.
you, Jim? Do you think that Bottarelli was told you got to fire these guys, and he couldn't do it? He couldn't. He
I don't
couldn't
think
do it.
Well,
Fireball
what I was
kind of
told to do,
did streamline it. They wanted to do it because I think obviously with the pandemic, if the pandemic, I think and certain things too. But, you got to look at it business wise, and I can understand it. Um, However, yeah, what you're saying is from what we're hearing is true. Then that was a scenario. But you can also, if you watch the hockey guy, he's on YouTube. He's a YouTuber. He did a nice video on like all the trades um, that were under Botterill, and there were a couple. You could give craps to Yokiharu for Nylander. You can the Cahoon trade, and then there was one other trade I think. But then we all can blame the Ryan O'Reilly deal for that Biosphere, but the Kane deal they sent us in and said we should have gotten more in return than what
Yep.
we got for Kane. Yeah, I know
Yep.
he had history. There was a baggage with him, but I think you could have gotten more. And then even still, I mean,
the other trade that they were talking about, remember some was the Evander Kane trade to Sam.
that's what I'm saying. So I mean,
Also, he's been criticized for hanging on to Ristolainen too long, or maybe he should have got some. You
yeah,
Well,
know.
that's
there's a lot of
to your
criticism.
point. To your
Yeah.
point, Bristol Lion, obviously, he's nasty, but he's not a great analytics player or anything else. So
He's gotten better into Kruger this year, but maybe uh, the annex are just a stat, and they're not always telling either. But at the same time, it's like we've gone over this, gentlemen, and I don't want to be a dead horse, but there's certain
Oh.
flaws of rest of the Lions game that I think you just cannot ignore.
Now, what am I hearing about the final straw? Could have been this signing by that guy going to Russia, and the Sabres sort of screwed up on
I
it.
don't think it was a foul straw. I think the other one was foul straw, but yeah, would be a
letting go of Pilot.
well, not even letting go of Pilot. It's like
The way it came about.
yeah, it's just they if the Sabres offer a qualifying offer, they still would he would play in the cage for 2 years, but then the third year, they would still serve rights on him. So I don't. Um, I so I mean it's it. I think I think Kev analysts likes Kruger, and I know the players like Kruger. I know I'm switching. I'm reading off the TSN feed. Um, I mean, yeah, a lot of people are calling it the darkest day in Buffalo Sabres history. Could well be, but I mean, it's one thing or the other. I guess it's just you can look at it that way, or you can look at it for a renaissance. I mean,
Yeah,
there's no other way of looking around it. I mean, it's
yeah.
what's done. What's done. It's unfortunate. I feel bad for Chris Taylor. I feel bad for at least the Rochester American staff. They really worked hard to get that culture winning going and everything. And it's tough, even for the players too.
Well,
This is not. It's not easy. It never will be easy. But go ahead.
Isn't speaking of sad day in Sabre history too? I think I read either yesterday or today's the 20 is the year the Sabres lost the '99 Stanley Cup.
20 years, yeah. That
I
was
think,
over 21 years ago on that. Yeah.
yeah, yep.
Not.
You guys were like young pups.
7 years
I
old.
know.
7 years
7 years
old.
old on that one.
Oh, that's a God. I was, oh God, what am I, 35? Oh boy,
Well,
I'm an old guy.
I'm really not. You know,
Yeah.
my dad's older than you.
But I'm excited about moving ahead. I hope Adams can do the right things, and I think Kruger's going to have a big part in it too.
Yeah.
You know.
I'll be. It's going to be a difficult process here.
Yeah.
Obviously, trying to figure out what steps people are going to hire for staff, not only for scouting, but Rochester. Who do you know, and also, who's going to, as you said, it's going to be a tall order for that second line centerman. My concern
Yeah.
is, and I think we all share this concern, Jack Eichel is in the middle of an 8-year contract deal. What happens if they don't make it? My concern is that if they don't make the playoffs, he's going to be traded, and then we'll be in another rebuild. And that's
Well,
really.
I don't
yeah.
think you're gonna. We're done rebuilding. We have to build. But
Yep.
yeah,
Well, guys, let me give you the 5 teams in the order that I read today on my Bleacher Report for Jack Eichel. Are you ready?
Let's debate this, sirs.
Teams that could be pulling the trigger on the Jack Eichel sweepstakes. Okay,
If that were to happen.
the first team, and they had guys who the Sabres would get back, but the number one team was the Edmonton Oilers. Could you imagine Eichel and David
no,
together?
no,
Oh,
no.
I could see that happening. That would be massive there.
I
To give
think
up,
they had Fred. Fred, I think they had coming back from Edmonton. Was that Nugent Hopkins going to Buffalo? You know,
I, I don't think I can make it work. I mean, yeah, you have Matthews and
yeah,
David, but then you're saying your franchise back for
yeah,
signing anything else to your team. I don't think that
yeah.
would work out in the long term for
Also,
Edmonton.
Tampa Bay was up there. Tampa Bay was up on the trade thing. Uh,
You
the
got Stamkos.
Montreal Canadiens.
Well, they could use the number one center, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Uh,
But why would the Sabres want to trade in their division? That would be the other thing.
Carolina Hurricanes.
the same team that Kevin Adams won a Stanley Cup with.
And the last one was the Boston Bruins, with Eichel being a local guy.
That would be.
That would make sense.
Yeah,
I think that's the only scenario I think Jack
yeah,
would want if he were because Krejci and Bergeron are not um, young studs anymore. They're going to be looking to build for the future, and I think if that were to happen, and I think you could get assets out of Boston, probably that would make sense. I
yeah.
don't see Edmonton being fit. I do not see Tampa Bay because they're already in cap trouble. You got to look at you really realistically. You got to look at teams that have enough cap space too. You would have to make cap space for some of these teams, and I don't see Tampa
I
Bay doing it because they already have
If I were to get
Stamkos.
rid of Eichel, I would trade him to get him out of the conference. You
Yeah,
know, trade him out west. Or trade him to Chicago or somebody out in
well,
that
I
that
would say
area.
Chicago. You could say I would even. You would say I wouldn't say Arizona. Maybe LA once Kopitar's deals up. You could say you could say
How old is Pat Kane? How old's Pat Kane?
He's
he's
31 or
the
32 now, or 33 maybe.
yeah, but
Maybe
look at
maybe an Eichel. Maybe you get Kane for Eichel.
see the trouble is the contract things. Chicago has a
Yeah,
lot of back with Seabrook and Keith and
You
yeah.
um
can tell me to
Toews
be
and Kane.
Chicago. Don't think that's happening. Sorry,
No,
Mike.
I can
That's
only
not
No,
gonna happen.
I would see
that's just
Boston.
guys. That was just a theory of mine. Local
I
guy.
I
Yeah,
don't.
there is. Oh man,
I'm glad we're doing
this
theories.
show's about to get hot.
We're talking about piloting the KHL. I was shocked, but I wasn't surprised. I don't blame Pilot, and if I were him, because there really is no room on the D line at this point.
You know
Um,
what bothers? You know
Well,
what
that's
bothers
also too. That's also too what Bottarelli got.
Botterill.
Got. But yeah, what he got. We had too many defensemen. You know,
Scandella, we traded Scandella,
he
but
got questioned about that.
That's the
And
problem. And
Marco
you're right.
Scandella trade was horrible. Who was it? Who we traded him to Montreal, right?
Yeah,
The
we
first,
did.
and then Montreal bettered him in the trade deadline. Montreal got a better deal for him.
well, because teams are more desperate during trade deadline. That
Yeah,
finally
but
and doing that's the. I think Scandella's probably rose up in Montreal. Well, maybe not, but I would say that yeah, you could have gotten a little bit more for Scandella. But at the same time, you did it way before trade deadline, but we flipped that
yeah,
for a leak. So you got to look at it two-part ways. But even
well,
still, it kind of just
we
screwed
got to
us up
stop. We
because
got to stop going the. We got to stop going to the Buffalo Pittsburgh route. Sabres and the Bills. That it shows us that doesn't work. You know,
I agree.
Jesus. Tom Donahoe. Who else? We had all those guys. Donahoe, Jason. You know,
is there
uh,
murky waters in Pittsburgh because Ben Roethlisberger won't retire yet?
oh, Ben Roethlisberger. Yeah, yeah. I
Or
listened today to Colin Cowher, on the Colin Cowher show, and people from Pittsburgh would like to see them sign Kaepernick, you know, for Roethlisberger, you know.
oops, sorry, I popped on a thing. Um, people were debating did the Sabres give Bono enough time?
They
To
did 3 years, 3 years.
some Pierre and like some other people were saying that it's not 3 years is not enough time to fully get your thing under to fully get the team turned around. But at the same time, I think 3 years is enough time. You had time in between, like you're saying, Mike, that where we could have gotten this team turned around. Um,
And
I'm just
you look too. The last 2 years. You look last year did they have the 10 game winning streak? In the
and they fell off
fall,
a cliff.
and they fell. And this year they started like 8-1, or something like that.
It was
You know,
one.
yeah.
They
I
can't
mean,
get it together. I don't know. You know, I'm
and
I'm
I think
fired up right now.
I think the thing that really hurt them too this year, they were just starting to get back into it, and they made the trade for Wade Simmons, and then they went out west and lost all 4 games. And that really that was like the Titanic for that team. You know, because I believe when they made the trade, they were only a couple points out of a playoff spot. You know, and then they crapped the bed
Going
out
blank
west.
for
You
a
know.
moment. Okay, we're back on. Um, yeah. Also, the injuries. I'll say again, injuries. Again, we didn't have enough depth
Yeah,
to
but
overcome the injuries.
every team gets hurt, Fred, Jimmy. Every team
Yeah, I
gets hurt.
know every team gets hurt.
You
We didn't have
know,
enough depth to.
I don't want
We
to
didn't have
hear.
enough depth
I'm
to
tired of hearing.
overcome it.
Oh, this guy, this guy, this guy. You know what? You got to
No, I
play.
agree.
You
I
got to play.
agree. I agree. I agree,
Yeah,
Mike. I agree. But it
yeah,
still takes a team when it's not like
yeah.
when Wayne Gretzky had Mark Messier and a staff of carriers. Eichel has what Reinhardt. Scaro will bounce back next year, but all of a sudden we got down the lane. But other than that, there's not much.
But that's why
Yeah.
this obviously is so critical. You know,
We've gone over. Obviously every year we're saying that, so we know this is crucial. But this time around, we're not worried about. But it's not Battlers' problem anymore. It's Kevin Adams saying and it's
We're
his
gonna.
job.
I think another thing, big thing with Kevin Adams is what does he do with Reinhardt? Does he give him a good deal? Does he give him?
I
You know,
think right now,
It might the cap's probably going to stay the same if everything goes well. You might sign him to another 1 year deal or 2 year deal.
oh,
given the current
Uh,
situation, you know,
I,
I want to have him locked up. I don't
I
want
don't blame.
to do the deal.
normally I would agree with that, but under the circumstances, you're going to have to have a 1 year deal. It's not
Yeah,
because of the player, it's because of this
yeah.
situation we're in, and also we don't know when the new season's going to start here. It's
Well, I know. Right now, they're talking about next year. Right? I think I heard today, Fred, the 2021 season wouldn't start till at least
2020.
January.
Yeah,
You know.
2021 probably no breaks. Yeah. I wouldn't blame him. I mean, because you if you again
and the first half of the year is going to be with no fans.
yeah, I wouldn't blame anybody.
Oh,
Yeah.
they should be used to that. See, they should
Yeah.
be used to no fans.
Well,
You know.
well, let's just hope for the sake that we can make the right move this offseason. Like I
Yeah.
said, I don't want to have to talk about another year that I gets
I
traded.
think you're gonna have some
Because if
people
that
and
happens, if this happens, then I will
Yeah.
personally leave. I will.
nobody just goes to the game. I think I doubt anybody will come to the game unless they see a real valid product. Whenever the new season starts, if they
Boy,
see
I got a hot take, Mike. I got a hot take.
What?
If the Sabres don't win the playoffs for the next couple of years, then there should be an ownership change. That's what's going to happen because this is the worst. I hope. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But if this
I tell you, I've been Fred, Jimmy. I've been to the arena for a couple games. The only time that place is really rocking
with Toronto,
is when the Canadians and the Toronto Maple Leafs are in town.
I
yeah,
know.
but
You know,
Toronto takes half our
because
fans
they get
to the
all the
arena.
people from the other team. You know, I
Definitely.
was at 2 games this year, and it was like people are on their phones looking at their text messages. There's not
Well,
the atmosphere in that place.
no,
You know,
It's a sad sight. It really is right
yeah.
now.
yeah,
You know.
just for
I mean,
deep.
it's like grandma's doing the knitting. You know,
Yeah,
in the arena. You know.
Okay, well, let's take a break from the. Let's take
Yeah,
a
let's get
break from
on.
the. Let's. I gotta. There was an art. There was an article by Jets Beats reporter
oh,
Brian Costello.
oh, don't get me
Oh,
started.
He predicted Bills are gonna be last this season. So
what did
it's
he
not been
say?
like
What did he say? The
he
Bills
predicted
last?
the Bills are gonna be last
Yeah.
in the AFC East. What
Now,
is
who is this reporter?
Jets Beat reporter Brian Costello?
Exactly.
Well, you know what? He could kiss up his ass. Jesus, Jesus, God.
Jamal Adams wants out now too, so I'm like, it's
Oh, yeah. You know
so
what?
So okay,
sorry,
Buffalo's
while
man.
gonna.
you're watching, what?
Buffalo's gonna kick their ass.
Hold up. This is part of my. I got a new show, but we're gonna start this early. Mike, you and I. Oh wait, I'm not supposed to spoil it yet, but Mike, will the Bills finish last in the AFC East this year? Regarding this
No,
season,
Buffalo. I told you, Buffalo's gonna be the third seed in the AFC. They're gonna be 11-5, win the East. There's no way they're gonna finish last. You know.
Is this guy? Is this guy on weed? Wait a minute, I can't say weed.
well, I will say this. I will say this. Remember last year with the Browns, how they had all these expectations? I'm trying to play devil's advocate here, even though I know
Yeah,
the
but
Browns had expectations last year. Didn't they finish 8-8? They didn't make the
yeah,
playoffs.
but you know what though, Fred and Jim, the Browns had a crappy coach, crappy GM is gone. You look at the Bills; they got the right people in place. You got the right captain of the ship and McDermott, the right leaders, the right players, and they're hungry from last year. There's no way they're going to be like the Browns.
Oh, I totally
You
agree.
know.
When I saw the article yesterday, Freddie was laughing his head off. He was acting like
Oh,
crying. The crying towel was out. He was
Oh,
just
yes, right. Oh, lovely. Oh, oh, lovely.
Freaking you.
where was the article? Was it in the New York paper?
I'm trying to find it.
Oh, this
Oh,
makes me cry.
I got to line
But
my bird cage. I got to line my bird cage, Fred.
Oh, here's the article. This is from Promising Bills are ready to capitalize on Tom Brady as the AFC East.
Oh,
Really?
Fred, here's your crying towel.
Oh my God. I'm gonna cry for this guy. Are you kidding me? Is this guy delusional? Is this guy in La La Land?
can we bring him on the show? Can we bring him on the show?
I don't know if we
I
can.
don't know, Mike.
What is he thinking? Is he smoking an am cigarette smoke or something?
Fred, he's a stranger.
He's high. He's high. He's high on
Jim,
Delta fever.
Jim, you're not even on caffeine today, are you?
No.
Absolutely.
No,
No,
he's
you
high.
guys are warmed
He's
up.
delusional. He doesn't see clearly. We're not up to the challenge of
Yeah.
dethroning the AFC East. Are you? That's absurd. That's blasphemous. He's that's Brian
You know,
Costello.
when the bill
So I don't know. Just having good.
when the Bills kill him in week 1, what's he going to do?
Run.
He should probably eat his own words. He eat his own bullshit article. Like the Canadian Silver series are. Like seriously.
Oh.
There's no
Seriously.
way. There's no way.
I doubt it. You see
I can tell you right now, Sean. I can tell you right now, Sean McDermott and Bean. That's locker room material. You know, bulletin board material.
It's material for me. You know, like.
Yeah.
I was a lot more rambunctious about this yesterday or day before. I'm like,
It made me laugh.
what pipe is he smoking?
I hope you know what I tell you right now that I was all excited for football, and then that Dr. Fauci again come on and say there might not be football. I'm like, will this guy shut up? Jesus God.
Well, you don't know. I mean, yeah.
Well, you have to be realistic. Let's just be honest. We have to be realistic with this.
I know.
But yeah.
I know. But I laugh when the Jets are dreamers every year. You know, I mean.
Okay, so actually, here's a statement from. Go back.
Oh, he's got his beer. Fred's got his beer.
This is a statement from the National Hockey League on page 2000. Since NHL clubs are permitted to open training facilities on June 8th, all players who use facilities for voluntary training have been subjected to mandatory testing for COVID-19. For today, excess of 200 players have undergone multiple tests. A total of 11 of these players have tested positive. All players who have tested positive have been self-isolating, are following CDC and Health Canada protocol. The NHL will provide a weekly update on those tests administered to the players and the results of those tests. The league will not be providing information on the identity of the players or their club. This is just a statement from the NHL here to pass along.
I sort of lost you there, Jim.
Can you reread it, Jimbo?
Yeah, let me reread that. Yeah.
Well, summarize it. What was the big thing?
The big thing was, 11 other players tested positive. So it's basically just kind of giving an update on phase 2 tests. So this is through today. Excess of 200 players have been multiple tested, and now 211 just tested positive. But it's not going to release the names or players or names of the clubs they're with. So at this time, so that's the bottom line of that. And again, this is an ever-changing situation.
Who's Mace Windu?
I did explain it.
I'm just seeing something on Facebook.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you explained it. I was just scrolling through the pages.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, on a side note, NASCAR moves its All-Star race from Charlotte, which is year to Bristol Motor Speedway, for the rescheduled All-Star event. I think
I'm loving this. This is going to be
some good short track racing.
Yeah, if you thought Joey got Chase getting that was wild, wait until they get to the All-Star race. It's going to be. You might as well throw a blanket underneath them. It's going to be a wow fest for $1 million in Bristol. I mean, I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm not a NASCAR guy. I'll let you guys talk.
I was just up there because I think it's exciting. And there's supposed rumor of it moving the number on the set to a different spot. There's a lot of
Yeah,
uproar of that. There's a lot of uproar on social media, which I'm not going to get into because I really don't care. Uh,
the Confederate flag.
yeah, I'm not subjecting myself
No,
to that. It's not worth my time.
Um, so, uh, so let's go back to Kevin Adams here. So there's obviously been rumors of like who the staff should. There's a couple
Fred, is
rumors.
Jim having a mic problem? Because I can't really hear him on his mic.
You want to turn up your volume or your volume? Like, yeah, you can't.
Let me fix one. Does that work?
Can you hear him?
Yeah,
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
yeah, I can hear you now.
It's a little bit dull this evening. We took the life out for ourselves for that last 40 minutes or 30 minutes on Tuesday. It's been
Yeah,
very it's been very sad. That's all I can say. Um,
yeah.
um, so let me kind of. So there's a couple names floating out here for maybe. Rick Deli's been a lot of time Western. Our guy lives right next to Craig Rivet. Um, and was involved with Carolina. Sky like that. I mean, a guy I would definitely hire, Rick Deli.
I wonder if you want to hire at least Danny get Danny Bria out of Philly and hire him as an assistant GM or associate GM. And then if you're looking at coaches for Rochester like Jay McKee, Adam Mayer, like Mike Greer,
I would,
um,
Adam Mayer would be the right guy. I mean, you know, nobody's going to question his passion. He's, you know, enough. I mean, the, you know, he actually you win the locker if you remember, and talk about Chris Neal. Remember,
it's Chris Neal from Carolina. I know I like to joke that the Three Cheers for Our Son. I keep mentioning it because I love that song. Um,
Well, let's see what they do. Let's see what
yeah,
they
no.
do.
Let's see what else is there in the sports world that anybody wants to talk about. I think
Well,
we've drained this uh,
yeah, we've talked
bottle
Sabres way
situation.
too much.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm
let's see what else is in the sports world right now.
bowling.
Well,
Bowling's back
we've
in.
covered the Bills. The Bills. Oh, the Bills got the. Glad to see they signed the running back.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was gonna
They
get to
got
that.
him under contract.
I was gonna mention I had a list and I forgot to.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened
glad
to
they
it. I
got
had a
him.
list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be a
That's
nice
what.
1-2 punch. Be a nice
Uh,
1-2 punch. Singletary and
I'm
this
expecting
guy.
big things
You
this
know,
season.
where
For
do you think
Singletary.
Jamal Adams might go? By the way, that he's requested a trade out of the Jets.
That was the big thing.
He's a Dallas bone.
Dallas,
Yeah.
Dallas, Dallas. I can see him going to the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And we hate the Cowboys, Mike.
Guys,
I'm
do you think I know it's sort of tough subject here, but do you think Kaepernick's going to sign with somebody in the next week or two?
I don't know.
I would hope so.
I don't know if there's really maybe if there's a backup role, but a lot of these teams have their quarterbacks
Oh yeah,
now.
you got
Even
Cam
still,
Newton. Cam Newton's looking for a teem. You know,
exactly. So I mean, even though there's this talk about Kaepernick, you know, even the NBA, the NFL commissioner, and you know, encouraging it. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen this year, regardless.
well,
Uh,
supposedly a team called Seattle talked to Pete Carroll because I guess
that'd be
Seattle was
most
close to
likely.
signing him a
I
couple
would
years
see. I
ago.
could see most likely him going to Seattle.
I can see San Diego. I can see San Diego.
who knows? I mean,
Fire.
I'm not going to sit here and say
I,
he won't be
I got
signed,
more.
but
I got more friends, guys. I got more friends that are ready to boycott this NFL. You know, if they're all going to kneel, that'll really tick me off. You know,
honestly, for me, I'm not going to get worked up about it. The more we
nah.
get,
But I think these athletes. I think these athletes sometimes think they're above the the normal guy. You know. I mean, I go back. I don't know how you guys feel, but I go back to the Drew Brees situation. I don't think what he said was that bad,
No,
you know.
it's just
And
a
I think a lot of people took it out of perspective. Drew
yeah.
Brees is a great guy
A
and does
lot
a
of
lot of
people
good
take things out
things.
of perspective these
Yeah,
days. It's unfortunate, but
yeah.
you know what? We've got to be more open and honest to talking about certain things in person rather than bash people on social media for their beliefs. I
Oh,
think
I know,
it's cowardly. It's very
I
cowardly,
know, I
whether we
know.
agree with it or not. Everybody needs to respect each other's opinion, one way or another. It's like I hate to say it's bush league of people, but it is.
It is. It's Bush. It's Bush League. It's Bush League. Yeah, it's been
There's a
pretty. Well, we'll see what happens. I know baseball. They rejected another proposal today. You
whatever,
know.
whatever.
Well, I want to see Fred, Jimmy. I want to see my Yankees back on the field. I'm a big Yankees fan.
It's their it's the league's loss and the players' loss as well. I mean,
I've been watching. I've been watching in the mornings. I love that show. Get Up. They've been carrying the South Korea baseball league. Oh my
I don't
God.
blame them. I do
Oh
not
no,
blame.
it's just funny. The games are like 20-10. It's like men's softball.
Yeah,
You know.
I watched a little bit of it. It's like one score was like, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not really familiar with that league. It's a different league than what we're used to. So I mean,
But it's
some
been a
better,
pretty, been
some
a pretty
baseball better.
quiet. Yeah, it's been a pretty. I mean, the Sabres thing we've talked to death about. Sports world right now. That's why I can't. We got to get back into talking and get back into this on this field stuff. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But
I can't wait to see what unfolds in the next few months. I mean, it, if you look at things from, I guess, a perspective of what's going on. I mean, everything's such a moving target that I mean, it's up to everybody, and politics be darned. There's so much politicking going on, and all these different events and everything, and
oh yeah,
it's just like I really it shouldn't be about politics. It should be about people. Um, it should
people.
be
Yep.
about yeah, regardless of color, um, you know, ethnic background. Just there's good people in this world.
How do you
We just
guys?
got.
How do you guys feel about How do you guys feel about no fans in the stands?
I, if it, I think
I watch soccer with no fans. I watch golf with no fans. I mean,
the
to me, I am getting used to it. For the time being, I think obviously right
you
now
need
it's
that energy. You really need that energy.
Yeah, I know. It comes like I know, for example, with the Bills. On a big game, 3rd down and 7, you want that crowd into that. And you really want that crowd. You know, pumped up. You know,
Mhm.
and that gives the energy to the guys. You know.
I was hoping John Cena would get on the show at least once or at least somebody. Yeah. Like I wonder what John's reaction. I wonder what Erica's reaction to all this
Yeah,
going on.
we got to get them on. We'll have to get them on. You know,
They're
I don't know where
slacking again.
Eric's been. I don't know where Eric's been.
I know he's been working at home. I sent him a
Yeah,
link. Eric, if you're listening, please jump on the ship.
please
We
jump
need
on,
someone.
Eric. All right, guys, I've got to sign off shortly. I got to run to the
Yeah,
store here.
we're going camping tomorrow, so we're gonna cut it
Yeah, you
short
guys
anyway.
have fun, and hopefully we got some good info to talk next weekend about.
Man, yeah,
you know, let's
sorry for a
let's
dull
get some
show, but
positive stuff come back on.
yeah,
I
we
mean, I'll
just
be honest. I hate this
What's
is my
your okay? What's your favorite camping food?
s'mores.
marshmallows.
S'mores.
Marshmallows,
Hot dogs.
s'mores. You got a bunch of people you go up with, or you just?
No, we're just going up with our cousin Quig
Well,
tomorrow.
that's good.
They're up at Jellystone, so we're just meeting him up there
Well,
tomorrow. And I
that's
think
good.
that's that Thursday.
Have a few cold ones and have some marshmallows and s'mores.
Yeah.
So enjoy. All right, boys. Until next week. We'll see you later.
See you later. We'll have to come up
Thanks.
with better topics. And
Enjoy.
yeah, enjoy. Bye, everybody.
So,
I'm ending.
for those